What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Chicken Bone Alley, brought to you by Earl Ramey Racing Engines, Profab Headers and Exhaust, SRI Performance, and Stock Car Steel and Aluminum. What is going on, guys? I'm David.
I'm Connor.
I'm Sterling. I'm back, man. What's up?
There he is. He's on the phone. And he's trying to sit on the cell tower over there.
Yes.
I didn't even know he was
I don't know
here.
what's. Yeah, surprise today.
A prize.
Yeah, man, I don't know what's going on over here in the Blenheim area, but there is no cell phone service at all. So I got the hot spot, and I'm right here at the AT&T tower. So I'm hopefully I'm good. I'm sitting up under it pretty much.
They got to pump in signal to y'all out there in the middle of nowhere.
I believe it. I really do believe it. Times I crossed Big Petey River, it just shot gone. So.
Yeah, I was on the phone with Daniel. Called me earlier. I was sitting here, and he was driving back from, I guess, the courthouse or something, because he had jury duty today. And all of a sudden, it's just like, and left.
Yeah, that was it.
I hadn't heard back from him, so hopefully he's good.
I'm sure he is. He just probably don't have the luxury of an AT&T hotspot. So I do.
Probably so. Oh, fun stuff. Well, Connor, what's up, man? You back from camp?
Yep. Had a full week down there, and finally caught up on some sleep this weekend. So feeling good. Yeah.
They keep you wide open all week?
For the most part. But when you did go to sleep, you slept hard.
Where'd you say you went?
Up in Honea Path.
Honea Path.
A little bit
Upstate.
east of Anderson. Yeah. Middle of nowhere.
They couldn't let you go catch some racing up there. Right?
Nope.
Nah. Landon is actually gone. He left today to go somewhere. I can't remember the name of the town, but it's like an Indian sounding town, so I don't know. I ain't even gonna try to pronounce it, but it's somewhere right there by Asheville.
Oh wow.
They're going to some camp up there this week, and then again in September sometime they go to Look Up Lodge. So
Cool deal.
fun. Fun. What you been up to, Stro?
Oh, baseball and more baseball.
Not
yeah,
baseball.
that and yeah, between that and building a horse barn, man, I have not done much of nothing else. I don't think I've slept much, honestly, but no, it's yeah, they had a good run, and they finished, I think, 4th or 5th in the state in the 8U deal, so that was pretty good for them. And yeah, I mean, dude, there's some tough teams when you get to state for sure. But Lancaster ended up winning it all, and man, they look like a little teeny Braves team out there. Yeah, they were pretty stout for sure. So, but it was fun. It was a good experience for everybody, and it was hot. Great day. It was hot. That was a tough few months there for sure, because I know you know Joey, and he likes to practice.
He likes to practice. He loved to practice, which, I mean, it paid off. It paid off.
Oh, for sure, it paid off.
So,
It definitely did. Yeah, but it was fun. It was a good time.
Good deal. Good deal. You sound about like a Connor season there. When y'all start back up soccer?
Oh, that's
Not till after
now
first year?
January. Yeah,
Okay.
we start conditioning, and then we'll start playing.
Y'all start at the
March.
right time of year.
Yeah,
You end at the
it's
wrong
perfect.
time.
Well, usually
I don't know. It was all right this past year.
Let's say it ended in May, so it starts to get hot, but it's only hot for a week or two, which is pretty good. That March, April, February weather, I can do with that.
I can too, but let me tell y'all something. I don't know if you looked at the weather for this weekend yet. Are you planning on racing?
Probably something, yeah.
Yeah, me too. Do you see what temperature's supposed to be Saturday?
Probably like 97.
99.
Wow.
99.
Oh wow, that's exciting.
Yeah.
And 119 heat index. So that's gonna be good.
Oh, it'll be great.
I say we get started at like 6 o'clock.
That's what I say too.
I mean, really.
8 a.m.
Race all night. I don't care.
Oh, you're talking about not even go. See,
I'm talking about
dirt tracks.
Yeah.
The like the XR series. Now, granted, they're the only class run that night, but they got to run heat after heat after heat after heat after heat. They're racing. Was it tonight or tomorrow night? I can't remember. But either way, they pushed back the time. They're not even having their drivers meet until 7 o'clock at night. Hot laps at 8. Heat racing starts at 8:30, and they are hoping to start racing no later than 9:30.
Yeah, it might be a late one, but
Yeah, but why can dirt tracks do that? We take forever.
I don't know.
On asphalt
just
track.
they don't seem to practice as much as some people.
They
like to.
don't.
That's what I'm saying.
They don't.
Yeah.
I mean,
We got people out there. Me and you aren't really one of them, but people who will run the Daytona 500 in practice.
I promise you, I'm going out there. I'm getting about 5 or 6 laps, and I pretty much know what it's going to do. Because if it ain't doing what I need to do in 5 or 6 laps, we need to change it anyway. Because we're going to be so far back, it's ridiculous the way our races go. So yeah, but you're right. You're right. It's going to be toasty. It's going to be toasty.
Yeah.
We'll get through it.
We'll get through it. We will. We will. So obviously we did not race anything this past week. We took the weekend off there. I worked on the number 12 car.
Yep.
You know, I'm just one off. I'm number 12. Not that car. Well, if you look, it's on the jack stands back there behind us. We took some parts and pieces off of that one and swapped over. I think which I mean, we didn't have to do a whole lot by no means. But I think we're gonna be all right.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Well,
I still say you should have took the motor out the car, out the 12, put it in the 13. But I know that you can't really do that.
No,
I mean, that's not your motor. But
no.
I mean, you weren't far off last week the way it was. So
No, we wasn't too bad. I think we're gonna have that's a nice car. That's a nice car, Mr. Dennis Brown let me drive there. So I appreciate him letting me do it. It's a nice piece. I think we'll be all right. I think we'll be close. We'll be in the ballpark.
You love racing. I'm talking behind the wheel with your tail on fire. But sometimes getting the green flag is tough. Here's what you need. Bubba's Bout Broke podcast with Jackson and Melvin McLaren. Along with Caleb, they talk with dirt and pavement drivers across the country about the battles they face getting to the track. Bubba's Bout Broke podcast. New shows every Monday on Spotify and Apple Podcast. It's for every fan and for those who live to race and race to live. Check Bubba's Bout Broke podcast on Facebook for updates.
All right, y'all just heard it. Go check out Bubba's Bout Broke podcast. But Connor, I'm gonna let you know. I don't know if did you listen to Bubba's Bout Broke by chance last week while you were gone? I doubt you did.
I had no service for 90% of the time.
I text Connor one time and he texted me back at like 10 o'clock that night, so I figured he didn't have much service for nothing.
I didn't have my phone all day, and when I did, it was still limited service. So,
well, I just gonna let you know they somewhat called you out on there last week.
Call me out.
Yeah, called you out. They was looking through it. They announced their driver lineup last week, but
how's it looking?
Well,
is it as stout as ours?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think our if you haven't heard yet, guys, we got a iRacing league coming up that man, we got some good sponsors coming up.
I heard.
We got a few that we've put out there. We still got a big main sponsor coming up. A big announcement here, probably the next couple of weeks. Okay. We don't start the league. League starts September 12th. That's a Tuesday night. Races, practice room opens at 8:30. Racing at 9 o'clock. It's a 8-race league. 7 weeks though. We're doing a double on week 3, a dirt and asphalt night. Just because we gave everybody a week after Labor Day, and then we didn't want to race on Halloween.
Makes sense.
So, going up. So we combined 1 week there, which will work out good, actually, I think. Be fun. But I think it is time to unveil our driver lineup. Since they did it last week, first up, we got yours truly, Connor Lee.
There we go. The weak point.
No. Connor's got about the most experience of our driver lineup on asphalt.
There we go.
So
unfortunately, there's only one true asphalt race, but
well,
hey,
I mean, hey, you gotta know, gotta know. But I mean, it doesn't matter because if guys spend their time focusing on dirt, they're not focusing on drafting at all.
There we go.
I
just have to get up on the wheel.
I think you got it.
Oh, we'll be good.
We'll be good to go.
I'm confident.
Next up, we have the first big money league that Chicken Bone Alley ever had. We got the champion coming back to drive for Team Chicken Bone Alley, John Ruggiero Jr. Man is a wheel man in his own right in a real car in a dirt crate late model. Man's put up, I'd hate to know how many wins he had last year. He won every dirt race we had in the first season. Every one. And finished, I think, in the top 3 on a lot of our asphalt races, too. So he is no slouch in any form. Even on a road course, I think finished top 5. So John Ruggiero Jr. Coming on board on Team Chicken Bone Alley. And another man who has been a friend of the show here for a couple years now, winner of the 2021 Gobbler, Team VLR Gobbler on iRacing, which is a very prestigious race. Also, man has won the highest strength of field dirt late model race in iRacing history.
He won it.
That is our buddy Devin Morgan. He is coming on board here with Team Chicken Bone Alley to go up head to head against Team Bubba's Bout Broke podcast. So I think we're gonna be pretty good.
I think the dirt races are gonna be ultra competitive.
Dude.
Just from who we've got, and I mean Landon's good. We've got several guys. Cole's pretty good on it, and I don't know
if Cole's coming back.
Really?
Cole got a new job. I talked to him the other day. Got a new job, and and I don't know if he's gonna be able to make it. I ain't gonna lie, I was gonna get him on the team. You know, being he was past champion himself.
Yeah. Still, even with John and Devin and Landon, those guys are just insane on dirt.
What you think, Sterling? Does it sound all right to you?
I think I've got it locked up already, man. Sounds to me like I don't know, man. That's definitely some tough competition. I don't know what they got over there. I have no idea, but man, that sounds pretty hard to beat.
Well, Jackson McLaren is gonna be one of their guys, and I think it's all guys who race out there with them over there in towards the Nashville area. So
East versus West.
I guess.
Yeah,
kind of. So yeah, East Coast time, East Coast time zone versus Central time zone. That's what it is. I haven't even told them this yet. If you look over there on that wall right there, Connor, I found what I was looking for. See in the window right there?
Oh, yeah.
Found what I was looking for there.
Perfect size.
So I don't have it unveiled yet because I hadn't completely made it all. Obviously, there's one piece sitting over there. But we're going to have a fastest podcast trophy that's going to go, whoever wins it that year, it's going to be one trophy. We're not making a bunch of different trophies.
Yeah.
Making one trophy. Whoever wins it gets to display it on their podcast until the next season.
That sounds good.
So,
It's going to be competitive.
It is going to be competitive. And that's good. And that's just going to be the race inside the race. We are still expecting. I've gotten, we have had numerous people reach out about this series. Right now, already we're looking, 25 deep right now, probably. At least.
I've still got a couple that I've kind of mentioned it to.
Exactly.
That are maybe so.
And that's just already, that just is in our group and knows about it. That, stuff like that. So I'm expecting, and I may have to end up cutting off. I'm thinking about cutting off around 36.
Yeah. Somewhere
around there.
If we get there, that'll be.
Oh, that'd be
fantastic.
Perfect. Yeah. That'd be perfect. So anybody that wants to get in, y'all please come jump in, join our Chicken Bone Alley iRacing League group, because this week I will be putting up the registration link. And basically just be an entry fee, $25 entry fee, and that is for the whole year. Already want to thank some sponsors for jumping on board. Let me pull up my phone here so I don't mess up anything and call out the wrong person here. I know I want to thank Rivertown Racing and our buddy Kel Maben coming on board again. They are definitely a cool sponsor. They are going to not only add some money to the purse, but also they will provide the trophy for the league. So whoever wins gets a custom trophy. I don't know how it's going to even be made yet.
There you go.
But I figure it's going to be.
I'd say just wait and unveil it whenever.
Exactly.
Whoever.
Exactly. But
the winner.
He made one for our last one that Cole got. Or getting or something. They live right over there around each other, so he was going to give it to him. Also, two more sponsors we want to thank there. Actually, three more. One being our buddies BS Racing up there in Ohio, also coming on and contributing to the points fund there. I'm telling y'all already, before I announce it, it's going to be the biggest points fund we've had. Going to be a pretty nice payday, honestly. So they're contributing. BJK Sports coming on this year also with for each week. I'm going to have to talk to him and find out exactly how we're going to, figure all this out, because we got some different races, But it's going to be a $5 quick time award for tonight and a $5 hard charger award.
That's what I was probably most excited about.
I'm telling you.
What's hearing about that? That's going to be.
Connor's like, I'm just going to start in the back.
Yeah.
Qualify in the back.
Hey.
See what I can do.
I mean, that's something.
I don't know if that's a good thing to do, though. I got a feeling this one's going to be ultra competitive.
You're going to want to be as far as you can.
I mean, I want that $5 hard charger award. I would want it.
I was kind of more interested in the quick time thing.
There you go.
There
you go.
It's something you can kind of pay attention to.
Something to shoot for. We're not going to qualify in the dirt car, so I have to figure it out. I guess we'll go off quick time out of the heats. Whoever's got the fastest lap out of the heats, probably. I don't know. I'll talk to them and see what we want to do. But I want to thank both of them for coming on. Also, our good friend Derek Griffith and Northeast Auto Imports coming on again, and also putting in some money on our prize fund there. I go ahead and say it, and I haven't even announced this one yet. Tanya over at NPM, talked to her the other day. She's going to put some money in on it also.
Wow.
So,
this is going to be a big payday for whoever happens to it.
And I appreciate all them so greatly, but we have not announced our presenting sponsor yet. Already talked with them, just finalizing everything. Like I said, going to announce here in just a couple weeks. Probably going to be the biggest full payout. I tell y'all right now, I'm going to go ahead and let this little cat out of the bag, so if anybody's just listening to the podcast, that's the only place you could hear it. Not going to post it yet on Facebook. But I think we're going to be at least, if not more, but at least $1,000 to win.
Wow.
Sweet.
That's gonna bring a bunch of people when you announce that.
But I really feel like our through the field payout is going to be pretty good.
That's something you won't find rarely anywhere else. Exactly. Especially for 8-week season.
Exactly. So
that's cool.
Thank all them sponsors coming on. And we still may have more. Who knows? Anybody wants to jump in, reach out to me. We'll be glad to I'm trying to think of, ways to get all these sponsors in there. And I think I got some cool ways,
You could have the such and such halfway break.
Exactly. Stage break, caution flag, white flag, checker flag.
We'll find a way.
Whatever. I don't care. We'll figure it out.
I'll bring out a caution myself if we need to thank a sponsor.
Just spin out. We ain't had a caution. Connor, spin out. Shoot. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. People get excited about this stuff.
I'm really excited.
I
wish it was starting tomorrow.
No, me too.
Really,
me too. I'm glad because I will say in the past ones, I have kind of, and it's probably partially my fault, I have kind of rushed them there at the end, or way too close to start time. I'd like it to be tomorrow also, but I'm also glad we got a couple month head start on this thing.
And it builds up anticipation, and hey, it's
Sterling raced in the last big one we had there. He was the Chicken Bone Alley driver. You finished what? Third in it?
I think third, I believe. Yeah, third in points that year. Yeah, that was before we got a whole bunch of really, really good people, or the people that's running now got better. So I probably wouldn't be the third no more, but. Yeah, that was fun, man. That was a good time. But one thing I wanted to ask you, what are you gonna do with setups? You got somebody building setups or what?
Not at the moment, but I may just talk to our good friends over at Majula Say Speed Shop again. See what we can come up with there. They got some good ones for sure, but I don't want them perfect, and that's what I told them last time. The last season we done, they sponsored the season there for setups, and every setup was provided by Majula Say, but I prefaced it to everybody by saying, look, in my opinion, Majula Say Speed Shop, our buddy Chris Ferguson over there, CFM Esports, those guys are great. And when I say great, I mean they're on top of their game, and especially in the dirt world. But they've also now moved over to asphalt too. But I told them when we got setups, I'm like, look, I don't want the great setups. I said, take a good setup, okay setup, and make it I said, I want it to be tough for these guys to drive. I want it to be drivable, but just tough for them to drive. And you drove it, and some of them setups were, I mean, they were drivable, and some people could make them fast.
Yeah. The first time we ran the street stocks at Williams Grove, the first race, I was lost for the first half of the race until I figured out what it needed. But
exactly,
it was good. They were all racy, which was fun.
Yep, it was a lot of fun. So regardless they come on or not, I appreciate them for sure. Helping us out that last time, and we're definitely always in touch with them. Always in touch with our buddy Chris over there, and Evan Say and Blake Majulis and all them boys. They're good dudes. for sure, and we always have fun with their stuff. So yeah, we kind of had a long deal about this iRacing stuff, but it's kind of a big deal right now. Kind of a big deal.
Feel like the league's been revived.
It has been revived. We kind of had downfall there for a little while. I was working on too many race cars. My bad. No, no. I don't know. It kind of had a lull there for a minute. Some people, I think it was just changing of people coming into it and getting out of it, and people that raced for a while kind of got out. And I think what happens is, and me and Sterling definitely have both been through this. You may have also, Connor. I think what happens is you get a computer, you spend a lot of money on a computer, and you run it, and it runs great. You get about 4 years, 5 years into it, and all of a sudden it starts. You got to turn your graphics down just a little bit, because it's actually the game has improved, or the simulation has improved, but the computer isn't updated enough to keep up with all those updates. Well, about 6-7 years into it, your graphics card and stuff is pretty much outdated. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's kind of what happened to a lot of people. That happened to me before. I've been through, I think I've been through four different computers.
Wow.
Doing it, and Sterling, I know you've dealt with the same thing, and
yep.
I think that kind of has a little bit to do with it.
That's the thing about them things, man. Like you said, the graphics cards, they're new for about a month, and then and then there's another one out, and it ain't no good no more.
I'm telling you, it's a lot to keep up with, and
yeah, for sure.
It's you better be a computer engineer to keep up with it, for sure. So anyway, like I said, guys, be watching. I'll probably put it both on our regular Chicken Bone Alley page and on Facebook, and our Chicken Bone Alley iRacing League page group there. So come join the Chicken Bone Alley iRacing group. That's where we try to put most of our information pertaining to the league. It's easier there. Everybody's on there. It's easier to have it show up there and all that fun stuff. So y'all come join if you're interested. Please come join. We the more the merrier, and also the more we get in there, the better the purse is going to be. Because that $25 a person isn't just going to anybody. I promise you, we're making $0 off of this. It is literally turning around. One, we're going to pay a broadcaster. Two, we're going to pay someone to admin the races, I guess, a race director. And other than that, it is turning around, going straight back to the points fund. So it's going to be really good. If your business wants to get on there, it's a good way of advertising. We're going to broadcast these races live on Facebook and possibly YouTube. I don't know yet. It'll be somewhere. So at least on Facebook, for sure. Then we'll re-air them, repost them, and your company logos will be on the screen at all times. It's gonna look like a NBC race. I mean, for sure. Most of y'all seen it before, so y'all come on, jump on with us, come on, drive with us. I'm gonna be announcing. I think Melvin McLaren's gonna be announcing. And we're gonna have another announcer in there. I don't know if I'm broadcasting it yet, or if we're going to have a actual broadcaster. I think we're going to have a broadcaster.
Okay.
Regardless,
then you should race with us.
I can't. We got to announce. We got to have somebody representing Chicken Bone Alley in the booth.
There you go.
I'd be the weak link for sure. That is no lie. I get on there, and this in all serious, I hate Pocono. I hate that track.
I don't even own it.
I don't like it. I don't know what it is about it. I don't like it. This is what I do, and I hate to say this, but I don't run enough to be competitive with a lot of people that race on there a lot. But I will take my I'll get on the AI, and I'll up it. Like I'll get in there and run a few laps, and see if I'm close to them. But I don't want to be able to just outrun them by no means. So I'll get in there and make them so they're hard to pass and stuff. And I ran the entire Xfinity race the other night on AI race.
Wow, that's a long race.
Yeah, it was 90 laps, 2.5 miles. So what, 200? Well, not quite 250 miles. So or whatever it is. I don't know. It was a long race. Sterling used to run all them full length races.
Yeah, man, I love them things, dude. And I mean, I was pretty up. We had like a little points deal there going, and
Yeah,
I was up pretty good in there for a while, and then Bristol came, and then it fell downhill from there.
it always falls down after Bristol.
Yeah,
I
it was terrible.
I got in. I jumped on it myself. Just because I'm testing these out, and I'm gonna have to be the one, making sure these setups do work and everything. I did jump in a Bristol Legend Car race.
I did that yesterday too.
That's interesting. It's gonna be it's gonna be like a super speedway almost to an extent, but you can't really touch.
Really?
Yeah. It's
maybe we should revote for that one.
It might be interesting. We'll see.
Yeah.
I think we're going to probably have to put and we might do this with all races. We're going to have to put a amount of laps and or a time limit.
Yeah. Yeah, just to make sure we don't be there all night.
Exactly. Especially that night because we got 2 races that night.
Yeah.
So anyway. Cool. Well, as always, everybody, want to thank our good friends over at Earl Ramey Racing Engines. Talked to Earl, what day was that? I think it was like last Thursday. Had to send him over some stuff, some rules and stuff to make sure we could get that motor in where it needs to be. So, nah. Yeah, well, it did. But make it all legal and everything, and like just to make sure it was good with our track, our local track. But anyway, guys, head over to Earl Ramey Racing Engines. If you need some serious horsepower for your ride, head over to Earl Ramey Racing Engines. Get all the horsepower you can get today under your hood. When you get that big power in there, make sure you go get some time on his chassis dyno, and that thing is such a lifesaver. It tell you all kind of. It might tell you issues you got with your car before you make it to the track, because every once in a while that happens.
Oh yeah,
I know. So y'all head over to Earl Ramey Racing Engines, get all the horsepower you can, get some time on that chassis dyno. And one of the things he's going to tell you to add to it is some Profab headers and exhaust. Profab headers and exhaust, ladies and gentlemen, they not only look good, not only sound good, because we love good sounding exhaust, but they perform the absolute best on the market. Go talk to our buddy Andrew Garris over at Profab headers and exhaust. Get you lined up today. Get some of that great. Their slogan is their quality that wins, and that is no lie. He was me and Andrew were talking, and I think he said this on the show actually, that there was some headers that they done one day, and that they he just got looking at it, and he said there was just something about them I didn't like. He said I don't really know what, but there was just something I didn't like. And so what did he do? He said he told them chop them up, send them back, redo them. He said they did. He said they would have performed perfectly. He said I just didn't like the way they looked, so I told him redo them. And that is quality there.
Oh, absolutely.
That is
For sure.
You can't beat that. So y'all head over to Profab headers and exhaust, and pick you up some headers for your ride today. Don't matter if you dirt, asphalt, whatever you got. They even provide headers for U.S. Legends. So every FZ09, MT09 that's out there now, all has Profab headers and exhaust on it. So y'all head on over there today, and you can buy those from our good friends over at SRI Performance. SRI Performance, ladies and gentlemen, is your one-stop shop for all things racing. They like I say all the time, they're Walmart for race cars. I'm gonna have to take Connor up there one day.
Oh yeah,
he needs to go check out all that stuff. He won't know what to do with all them parts.
No,
get
sure.
lost.
man, their part selection is just insane. They got everything that you need or want from all the best suppliers out there. And on top of that, what I love about it is the used parts. When you walk back there and there's just this great big warehouse of used parts, but they are all categorized and put in specific locations, make it easy to find. I was thinking about something I needed the other day, and I remember looking. I think we got something getting blown by a fan in here. I don't know what it is. But anyway, there ain't. Oh, it might be the ice down there. Yeah, that's what it is. We got a bucket. We got a bucket of ice down here with some drinks and some waters in here because it's not exactly cool in here. It ain't terrible, but it ain't cool.
It's bearable.
It's bearable. But when you go, I was thinking about something I needed for a radio the other day, and I actually thought in my head exactly where that was back in the used parts section at SRI.
Wow.
Just because I knew exactly where it was. You can walk in there, walk past the parts counter there, take a left, go down to the second set of aisles there, and it's an end cap right on the end. I knew right where the radio stuff was.
It's pretty detailed.
It's pretty detailed. I know. I'm telling you, it's easy to find. I know where everything. I know where to go for everything when I go in there because I can look over it and I can say that should be in that section. So makes it easy to find. So y'all head over to SRI Performance, www.sriperformance.com. Fill that card up, get everything in there. Put in that promo code CBONE10. The C is in
Chicken.
BONE10. Get yourself 10% off at time of checkout. Who don't want 10% off? Same deal over at Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, ladies and gentlemen. All the materials that you will ever need for any project that you have. Like Sterling likes to say, from deer stands to race cars.
That's it, man.
Speaking of deer stands,
Take care of all of it.
It's about time for some deer stands.
It don't feel like it, but it is.
No,
about time.
Around here anyway. A lot of states I hear they're talking about, well, our season don't start till late September or early October. I'm like, nah, we like them summer deer around here. Florence County, I think, starts in middle August.
Yeah.
So everybody needs some a good old deer stand if you're going out there, or whatever you need, whatever your project is that you need. Any kind of specific material for that project, head over to Stock Car Steel and Aluminum. Their name is Race Cars, but they can provide materials for any project. So y'all head over there, pick up anything you need from there. So anyway, I reckon there was some racing going on at the Tricky Triangle that we just talked about, Pocono. I'm trying to think. Who won the truck race?
Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch. That's right. That's right. KB won it. KFB, as he likes to say. Or I saw a shirt. They got a shirt out there that says Kyle Truckin' Busch. I was like, well, that fits. Yeah. That fits. Not surprising.
No, but it wasn't easy though.
It wasn't easy, and he started kind of deep in there.
12th or something.
Yeah, like mid-pack, which I don't know. I guess they set it up for the long run, I guess. I don't know. But he won him another one. I think he's talked about it before. He wants to, before he officially retires, he wants to go back and run a full season of truck before he actually retires.
Yeah, he wants to win all 3 championships.
I don't blame him.
Yeah.
I don't blame him. I'd do it too.
I'd say that'd be easy, except for...
I don't think it'd take him but a year. I think he would knock it out. So.
Well, I would say that, except for the way the championship is now, it comes down to one race.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
You're right, but I still think he could point his way in enough.
Oh, yeah.
To make it almost to the final round before, as long as he can win that last race or finish up front end.
Yeah.
I think he could do that. But I've heard him talk about it, and this would be a really cool timeline if this were the case. He said that, well, he didn't say this the other day. He said this before, that the best timeline for him would be, I think he said, this was maybe a year or two ago, for him to race at least 10 more years up to the time that Brexton could get in. And then in his final, before Brexton could run the super speedways and stuff, they share the truck.
Yeah.
Before Brexton goes into his first full-time career, or first full-time year.
Cool.
That would be pretty cool. That'd be pretty sweet. I mean, I couldn't ask for much better. And out of that, I mean, the man owns the truck team, so
yeah, he's got a ride waiting for him.
He got pretty much a say-so in it. So that's pretty cool. Moving on to Xfinity, Austin Hill. He's kind of 2.5 mile specialist.
Yeah,
has been.
It was looking like Josh Berry had it.
Josh Berry, I don't know what Josh Berry did. Josh Berry obviously didn't want to.
He lost it there at the end. Yeah.
He got nervous for some reason. He
sure did.
And typically that's not him. Typically he's pretty cool, collected, and I don't know. It just looked like he started over driving it and running into the wall, and I don't know. I mean, it happens to the best of us.
Yeah, it was a good race though.
Yeah,
all of them were really good.
They were. So Austin Hill comes out victorious in the Xfinity race. All right. The fun one for the week, in my opinion, I guess, probably the most debated on social media right now. There's actually not much debate. Everybody's kind of siding one way. Most people are. Connor kind of sided a different way here from what he put on our Facebook. Last few laps, Kyle Larson in the lead. It cycled. There was a ton of pit strategy to put people on different strategies and was just cycling different. Ended up working out.
Yep.
No lie. I had. I
think Larson took 2 tires.
Yep, Larson took 2. But he was. If it would have cycled green flags, I think him and Denny would have come up front anyway. But anyway, so whatever happened. Larson takes 2 tires to get out front. And I don't necessarily think that was a bad call because with these cars now, you got to have, clean air out front to kind of get through the corner. And I think that was his whole thing. He was like, look, if I can get through the first 2 laps, probably clear sailing. He didn't get through the first 2 laps. He didn't make it through the first corner. All right. Everybody's probably seen it. Denny Hamlin claims Larson missed the corner. From what I see, he didn't really miss the corner, in my opinion. He arced it in a little higher than Denny did. Left Denny a lane on the bottom, in my opinion. Denny drove it in on the bottom, drove it in hard to get up under him. Did not clear him. Denny claims he didn't touch him. Video states otherwise. And pulled the exact same move essentially did on Ross Chastain a year ago. Hits him just enough. It gets him up out the groove. And he's like, well, he could back out. Well, no, you can't. You can't at that point. You can back out. You're still going into the wall. So you might as well drive it out of it. I don't know. What you think, Connor? What you think about it? Denny Hamlin goes on to win it.
Yeah.
But what you think about it?
The move itself to me isn't what I have a problem. I don't like everything else he said, how he ruled it. But the scenario was whoever won the race out of turn 1 was probably going to be set up pretty good to win the race in general. And so if he'd have backed off there, Harvick and Truex would have split him 3 wide down the short chute. It'd have been over for him. So I understand it didn't look intentional. He just kind of got in there. He ran out of room and just said, "I can't lift. I have to lean on you to make this corner," and obviously put Larson in the wall. That itself going for the win. That's racing to me. That's not a dirty. But I don't. If I would have done that to win the race, which I could say. If I was going for a win, I might have. I would have said, hey, I had to use him up there. I would expect him to race me harder and make it tough for me in the future races. I'll expect payback, I guess you could say.
I'm just gonna say real quick. There was one time that Connor passed me for the lead, and he got tight, and we hit. I pick on him about it. He thought I was mad about it. I wasn't mad at all.
No, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it was kind of. I mean, it was almost the same thing. It was hard.
Yeah,
it was hard to
was.
pass, and you know, it just kind of got tight. But I mean, like,
And I ain't gonna lie, I held you down as hard as
Yeah.
I could because that's my job.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That part wasn't bad, but the refusal to take responsibility and to say Larson could have lifted. I mean, you can't lift.
At that point in the corner,
Yeah.
there's no lift.
Yeah.
You're already out there. You're
Yeah.
gonna hit.
So the move to me wasn't, you know, egregious. It wasn't dirty really, but it was just not taking responsibility, and the fact that he complains every time somebody runs into him. I think if it wasn't a Denny, it wouldn't have been bad. But Denny doing it and refusing it probably is what made it so controversial.
What you think, Sterling?
Yeah, I agree. I think the biggest thing we all learned here is nobody needs to start on the outside of Denny at Pocono, because he obviously knows how to do that, and he knows. I mean, that's going to happen. That's Denny. But I mean, that's racing. I do agree. I agree with 100% with all that. I mean, I don't mind what he did at all. It's just, you know, he needs to own it because he clearly took all the lanes away. I mean, he took them all. He you know, they was all his. So
He drove from apron to top. I mean,
exactly. I mean, so you know, I don't know. They talk about the code or whatever's gone now. Nobody's got respect for nobody. Blah blah. Whatever. He's one of the biggest people preaching about that, and he don't do it. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, really. I mean, but you know, if Larson goes and does that next week, I don't think you hear as much about it.
no.
I think because you know because it is Larson that happened to. I think you know that definitely, especially up around that area, that's sprint car country.
And I think that's exactly why Denny got booed so much.
Oh yeah,
Right. I mean, you know, so I'm sure 90% of the fans were Kyle Larson fans. So, but I mean, you know, no doubt, hands down, if that had been the other way around, he'd have put Denny in the wall. There wouldn't have been a soul sitting down booing. I can promise you that.
That's right.
So it's just a racing thing. I mean, it is. I just wish, like you said, Connor, I wish Denny would have owned up to it and just because I mean it was obvious. I mean, and he knows it was obvious. But I guess that's something. I don't know what's up with these drivers now, man. They just so I don't know. Like Chase Elliott, he didn't do these things and blah blah blah. Then he go back and say, okay, I did. You know, it's just I don't know. I don't know what kind of personality these guys have anymore, but it sure ain't good.
Well, I can tell you now, Denny, because of what he said now and what happened to him on his podcast early in the year, he is not going to change course on this. He is going to continue to say, I didn't touch him. I didn't touch him.
well, to me that's different. I mean, he pretty much took out Chastain.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, to me, this was racing for a win. It was pretty obvious. It was,
yeah.
And it was. I don't know. I still don't consider it dirty. It's just. I mean, you say, hey, he owes me one. That's
Exactly.
I expect to be race hard moving forward.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, you know, and I look at it like this too. You look at a dirt race, and I mean, there's all kind of people slamming each other in the fences and all. I mean, there ain't no spotters. You know, it is what it is.
That's right.
If that happened in a dirt car, it would have been whatever. You went on and everything would have been fine. I mean, but these cars, you can't hit a piece of pine straw with them and keep on going.
No, that's right.
So you know, it is what it is. I just man up, own it.
Yeah.
For sure. And him, I don't know. I think it was just kind of seemed somewhat of a disrespect to the fans, the way he just acted afterwards. They're booing him. And you could tell when he got out the car. I don't know. I think he's definitely taking that Kyle Busch role.
Yeah. And I think, with that being said, I think that's good for the sport.
Oh, I think it is too, especially being that he has his own podcast that is very popular, being who he is, and rightfully so. I think it's really good for the sport.
Yeah, it's been a long time since somebody's been booed like that.
But at the same time, and most of the time there wasn't boos, but there was a lot more boos than what people realize and remember. I know you don't necessarily remember it, Connor, but me and Sterling were there when Dale Earnhardt was racing. And there was a lot of people liked him, but at the same time, there was a lot of people that booed him.
Yeah. I think that shows, fans are engaged in it.
Exactly. But at the same time, what we could respect about the ones who didn't like Earnhardt, the ones that were more Jeff Gordon fans or, whatever, even Jeff Bodine fans, even way back in the day, what they could respect more about Dale Earnhardt was just like you said, he would get out the car if he hit somebody, just like the Terry Labonte thing. Yeah. I didn't try to spin him out. I meant to rattle his cage, but I didn't mean to spin him out, but I was going to hit him. I was going to win this race. Yeah. Hey, I respect that.
Yeah, I mean,
that's awesome. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think if Dale Sr. was in Denny Hamlin's car, I think it would have ended up the same way.
Oh, it would have, but he would have responded completely different. He would have come out and said, "Man, I'm racing for a win. I had to move him. I had to get up there. He was in my way. Whatever." So,
right.
But I think at the same time, I think NASCAR has put them in this position, because of people coming out and saying, now, I think that is a little extreme because people, I don't feel like they're going to come down on him saying, look, I drove him hard and tried to pass him for the lead. I don't think they're going to necessarily do anything. But there's been instances this year, even people have even years back, people have admitted to hitting or wrecking someone and they sit them out of race or dock them points or whatever, And so I think, to some extent, NASCAR's kind of putting that muzzle on the drivers, not letting them admit, I drove him hard. They're just scared to, I think.
I understand that. I'm not, and like when Chase Elliott, turned Hamlin into the wall and then said, the car was broken. That was a play to try to get it to not get a suspension.
Exactly.
But I mean, you're racing for a win, and you just run somebody high. That's not. I don't know. I agree. I think it's just kind of too policed if they won't admit that they raced somebody hard for the win.
Exactly right. But at the same time, I'm not in. We're not in any circles with Denny Hamlin by no means. But just hearing him on his podcast and hearing him over the years, the way we have in interviews and everything else, I could understand where Larson was coming from, saying all his friends know it. Denny's always right. Denny's I mean,
seems like that kind of guy.
He comes across as that kind of guy. I mean, that's just exactly. That's how he comes across. And there's been many. Larson's not necessarily the first person to say it.
Oh no.
So
there's a name for Denny Hamlin, hypocrite. That's a big one for him, for sure.
Yeah, and that's what it seems like. That's exactly what it seems like. Which reminded me of somewhat of Tony Stewart that year. He was talking about being so mad about how crazy people were driving at at super speedways and plate tracks and stuff, and all of a sudden he runs dude down in the grass.
Yeah.
But again, difference was they'd jump out and say, "Yep, I did it."
And that kind of brings me to Chastain. I never disliked Chastain. I love the way he raced. I think Chastain did a lot of stuff like Hamlin did this week, where he was just going for a win, and just was win or die.
Yeah,
but he would say, hey, I got into him.
And I don't know. They claim no, that's not it. But man, ever since Darlington, when
he ain't the same dude, man.
No, they do not seem to have that same drive about it. I mean, or either they have just gotten way off on their setups or something. I don't know what has happened, but it's not the Chastain we knew at the first of the season or last season.
Even the last 10 years. I mean, he's always driven hard. He's always drove.
Yep.
I mean, he's done everything he could to win a race or to get one extra spot in whatever car he was running at the time, and he just ain't there no more. I don't know, man. I feel sure somebody said something to it.
It seems like it. Seems like it for sure. Something else on the end of this race here at Pocono. I guess that probably a little bit of controversy through some people I've seen. Not much, but I've read a few comments. Priest spun out on the white flag lap coming out of 2. They did not throw a caution. He sat there. He was trying to get it fired up. They even showed it on TV, flames coming out the pipes where it was constantly trying to get it fired up. It just apparently flooded out or whatever. I mean, typical when you're running that. Sterling, I ask you, should there have been a caution immediately right then, and then they line back up for another green white checker.
I mean, yeah, I know that's kind of that's a hard thing to say, but in my opinion, at a super speedway or a huge 2.5 mile track like that, yeah, I mean, that's dangerous, man. You don't ever know. At Richmond, no, I'd say let it go.
Right.
But that's kind of a hard thing to say. But personally, I'd say yeah, it probably should have.
No, what you think?
Now, if
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, if the other side of that is if he's just sitting there wanting a caution, which he wasn't, obviously, still should throw the caution, but there should be some kind of, penalty for doing that, for trying to bring out a caution. But I mean, he obviously was not, So anyway, that's my take on it.
There you go. What you think, Connor?
Well, he spun out of turn 2, right?
Yep.
So the leaders were probably coming around 3, maybe on the front straightaway by that time.
They were hitting 3 when he spun because I think he was running like 27th.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
so they were probably the leaders were probably coming out of 3 or the middle.
I mean, they had a long time because that's a long front straightaway to the.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a long time to see. Is he moving? Is he not?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But there been 3 or 4 cautions there in the last 15 laps. At some point, and another caution takes forever because it's such a big track. I think at some point you got to say we got to finish the race. And I mean, to me, I thought one time he had it refired.
Oh yeah,
I thought he did.
Moved,
yeah. It's like it was like you assumed he was going to get going, but then it didn't happen, so you had to throw the caution. I think it was probably the right call. I don't think they had enough time. I mean, they had time, but you don't want to throw. How much of NASCAR been criticized for throwing cautions for single car spins? I think it was the right call, but I mean, I hate for it in that way, but I think they had to finish the race, and it was kind of just a unsure call.
I don't think it really would change the outcome, really, personally. But what I will say is there were spins there throughout the day, other ones, and as soon as somebody was spinning, they threw the caution. And just off of that solely alone. Now, I guess I don't disagree with you, Connor, about, it's got to end at some point. I don't disagree with that by no means. But at the same time, if we're going to throw it at one car spinning this time, how do we pick and choose, which one that it happens on? Are we thinking about circumstances around it, or are we just, there's a car spinning, let's throw the caution? Apparently, we're thinking about circumstances around it. Apparently.
So. Yeah.
Apparently. But the circumstances around it leaves it somewhat inconsistent.
Right.
And I just don't like inconsistencies, personally. Yeah. That's just like, I mean, yeah, it's completely different, don't get me wrong, but, let's say spoiler, for instance. One man roll through tech. His spoiler is to the limit plus another 1/8 of an inch. They let it ride. Oh, it's only 1/8 of an inch. Next man roll through there. His 1/8 inch. Well, no, that's illegal. We gotta. I mean, yeah, it's a completely different circumstance, but there's black and white in the rule book. There's not black and white.
You can't
on the.
There's not going to be 2 spins that are just alike,
Exactly. But I like consistency.
Yeah.
In it.
But I mean, all 4 tires were up. I could have sworn he had it refired at one point.
No, I agree.
And so,
like I said, I'm not disagreeing.
And you don't want
I'm just playing devil's advocate more than anything.
Which I'm amazed they didn't throw the caution.
Oh, I was too.
NASCAR's wheelhouse to throw a caution.
I was too. But I really thought, and I wouldn't have thrown it to start off either because it's such a long way around there. But they were entering 3. He's got the car pointed straight. All right, they had a good, I don't know, 10 seconds, 10, 15 seconds even. Because that front corner so long and that front straightaway so long, there was a good 10 to 15 seconds. I don't know. I think, personally, by that point, I think somebody should have said, all right, if he's not fired by the time we get to the line, throw it.
Yeah, but that's I kind of, I don't know. That feels kind of gimmicky to me.
It does feel gimmicky.
To throw the caution right when the leaders
I'm not disagreeing.
20 feet from the start finish line, cautioned out. We're gonna have a final restart. I mean, it's not a manufactured finish, but I don't know. I think he still had 15 seconds before they got back around to where he was to try to refire it.
Right.
So, I don't know. I think go either way.
I'm with you, David, and you made a good point. 2 seconds after anybody were to break tires, there's caution.
Oh yeah,
the whole day.
Yeah.
The whole day. So what's the last lap different than lap 10?
Yeah.
And then I agree, like you said too, Connor. I mean, the race has got to end. I'm sure if there was more green, white checkers, whatever, that could have gone on for an hour. Who knows?
No, we've seen it happen.
Right, and very likely, probably so. And who knows? I don't know that TV's got something to do with that. I wouldn't think they would, but I don't know. It just seems odd. That does seem odd to me. All day long doing that same exact type of spin, same location, and you let it play for obvious reasons. Let the race in. I don't know.
I would say that the one thing that might be different circumstance-wise is, say, if it's 25 laps into a run, there's going to be cars almost all the way around the track.
Right.
So if somebody spins out, they're in immediate danger because there's cars coming. Right after a restart, when the field is still mostly together, he's going to sit there for a while before anybody comes. So
that's right.
I don't know.
I agree with that.
I think NASCAR will get criticized equally, whichever.
I'm just glad I don't have to make that call.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
I'm just glad.
So that's the thing, though. That's the thing about it. Like, that's the easiest thing is to do the same thing all the time. That's the easiest thing to do.
You would think so, but I will say, like to your point just a minute ago, Sterling. We are fortunate enough to know a couple of those guys in that NBC booth, and it would not surprise me. I don't know this by no means. I know you don't either, but it would not surprise me just being around it for a couple days like we have, if there's not somebody in their ear saying, "All right, this one needs to wrap up as soon as it can."
Yeah, exactly.
And when they say that, I'd be like, "All right, we hold the caution for a little while and let this thing in." That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I think the race is pretty well won.
Oh, I don't think it. Like I said, I don't really think it would have changed the outcome.
But still, again, you throw a green white checker at Pocono,
you never
turn
know.
one's going to be
somebody liable to do it to Denny then, which would have been interesting. Speaking of Ryan Preece, though, after that, I don't know if y'all saw it. It went around social media today. Didn't hear anything of it yesterday, but when he finally got the car fired up, come back in, he somehow managed to come back in right in front of Corey LaJoy, who apparently was the one who spun him.
Yeah, I saw the in car. It was kind of like a 3-wide thing, and it just kind of just didn't work out. I
think I don't know, man. Preece is he all of a sudden, he used to be the quietest guy at the track, and all of a sudden here lately, he's getting in some stuff. But yeah, he jumped in the car on Corey LaJoy and kind of cussed him out for everything he was worth, and trying to get to him, but security security, some team guys or something got to him quick. I think Preece might be in a I don't know. I think he's kind of a little scared for his job. Earl, what's up, bro? Earl just messaged us in there.
That and probably just frustrated because, whole year it's just kind of been a dud.
It has.
Yeah, it has.
I think he thought he was going to jump in there and set the world on fire in a good car this year, and that has not worked out for him at all. Yeah. But it hasn't worked out for any of Stewart Haas.
None of the cars been great other than the 4-car.
Well, he hadn't been great.
He hasn't been great, but he's been
consistent.
By far the best.
But
he's been good, the past 2 weeks. But I don't know. They hadn't. Fords ain't really. Brad Keselowski has impressed me the most out of all of them.
Yes, he has. But unfortunately, tracks like yesterday, when you need a ton of speed, it really showed. They finished like 16th and 18th, I think it was. I think their motor package is just off.
It all got thrown around too. I mean, William Byron ended up 14th, and he was
he
third all
led.
day.
Yeah,
Just
led some, was third.
But overall, it was a good weekend. All three races had good finishes and all, which is good.
Yeah, Austin Dillon scratched up his helmet and everything.
Yeah, I was about to say, what about that was one more thing went on in that race that was kind of exciting. Austin Dillon turns in the corner over who was that? Tyler Reddick. He they went in there 3 wide.
I think he was expecting Reddick to back out.
I don't know. Yeah, and they got together. Austin Dillon spins out in 1 and 2, hits the wall pretty hard. Gets out the car and chunks the helmet at Reddick there.
Was it trying to skip it, or was that just a
errant throw? I don't know. I think he maybe thought it was a long way to his car and let's skip this thing across the track.
I don't know. I think it was just a release point was bad. I've never seen anybody skip a helmet. I mean, it wasn't far off, but I've never seen anybody attempt to skip a helmet at somebody.
If we're going to judge it, I'm going to say that was a 2 out of 10.
I'll give it a 5 for at least being a helmet instead of the gloves or something.
Well, the only reason I give it a 2 is because if we go off perfection, 10 out of 10 was Tony Stewart to Matt Kenseth at Bristol.
Yes, that was. when you throw your helmet at somebody, that about comes back and hits you, you done good. You did good.
When you hit dead center of the windshield and it shoots by, you could about catch it.
You're right. That's it.
That was perfect. The only thing that made that even any better was the next week they were on Trackside Live, both of them signing the helmet and auctioning it off for charity. That was perfect.
Yep.
So I don't know. What did you think about that, Sterling? Did you see that?
I did see that. I don't know. That's another thing. Who knows? I mean, they get 27 wide in the 1 to try to get as much track position as they can. That stuff's gonna happen. But he did turn him right there hard, and that was about the quickest spot in the racetrack, really. I think it is. So, he hit the wall hard. He really did. But not too good on the helmet throw. I wish he'd have done better. I really did.
I don't, man. That was a. I think it was one of them things, and I'm wondering because I saw when they were interviewing him, it was like he was all confident about what happened. He just, he went in there and turned me. He turned me. And like in the middle of the interview, he's looking at the replay because they walk around with these little monitors. They can see what's going on, and they're holding it up behind the camera over there. And you can tell he was watching the replay. All of a sudden, his whole tone kind of changed.
He still ended it with he was going to wreck somebody.
Yeah, he wasn't backing down from it. That's Austin Dillon. Once he starts something, he's not backing down from it. So he stayed with it.
Well, I'm just glad he's got some. I'm just glad he's in the limelight now a little bit because he ain't done nothing on the racetrack. So I'm glad he threw something at somebody.
Yeah, might need to start doing that every week.
He's been, which in saying that. Kyle Busch did not impress anybody yesterday.
Didn't have the speed this week.
No, it's so weird.
There's tracks they just can't run, and then there's tracks that they're like.
But why is it? And I say not only saying this about RCR, but just like Stuart Haas and stuff like that. We talked about look like Brad and them just don't look like they have speed to me. Big tracks don't look like they have speed. He looked like they figured out some handling stuff, but don't look like they have speed. But you see other forwards. You see Kevin Harvick running the same motor package.
Right.
He's up front. He's not winning, but he's battling inside the top 5. We talk about RCR. Well, RCR Hendrick run the same motor package. But yet we see Larson running up front, running fast. But then Kyle Busch and they just don't have speed.
Yeah, I guess there's still enough team individually that still makes a big difference.
No,
right. And I'm almost wondering too, like how much is it involved with like the aero of it? Because those guys has got to know. And I mean, I'm sure they can drive the car differently to get it to rotate differently or handle differently because of the air. Just some of them know that better than others. I mean, obviously Kyle Busch should know it better than anybody, but I don't know. It's just something is definitely way off, and it's drastic. You can tell it. So
it is. It is for sure. But anyway, so I guess we need to get to our picks here for that was week 21, I think it was, and Connor took the win.
There we go.
With who did you have? You had
21.
Yeah, you had Ty Gibbs. That's right. Took the win with 21. He finished 5th, and I finished 2nd with C-Bell running 6th.
Hey.
Sterling, you got 3rd this week with Austin Cindric. He was like 28th, I think it was.
Is that his best finish all year? I'm pretty sure it
is. It's close to it because he is in a serious sophomore slump.
Terrible. Woo! He's struggling, man.
He is struggling. So that puts Connor at what you got over there?
7.
7 wins. I got 8 wins. Sterling's got 6 wins. Points wise, I am back in the lead. With 43 points. Sterling is in 2nd with 42 points. Connor is in 3rd right now with 39 points. It is a
close.
tight battle.
Close.
It is getting real close. We're coming down here in the last few weeks of the regular season. So, Sterling, you get first pick. I don't know if you got your stuff there in front of you.
I do.
Okay, cool. So you get first pick.
Where are we at this week? I honestly don't know.
We are going to Richmond.
Okay, all right. Let's see here. I'm going to go with Ryan Priest then.
I just looked at it and I said, he's going to take Ryan Priest.
I got him. Modified driver. You know he know how to get around Richmond.
He can get around Richmond. He's been around there a few times. So it's week 22. All right. Week 22. That means we got what? Including this, be 5 weeks till season end. I think I am finally pull the cat out of the bag here. He has had some tough luck the past few weeks, including this week. But it's time for him to come back with a win, and I'm going to take that number 5 of Kyle Larson.
So you're surprised you still have him.
I know I held on to him for a little while just to, and I think it's time to use him.
There you go.
I think it's time to use him. Now watch, he'll wreck lap 2 probably. Who are you taking?
I'm taking somebody who's been pretty hot recently. I think I'm going to take Truex.
Truex, that's a good
one.
one.
That's a very good one.
I'm surprised you still have him.
I told you all season I was trying to save some of them.
He was using people that wasn't even in the race, so he still got Truex.
That's what I was going to say. I'm going to tell you, his front sheet is a whole lot more open than ours is, Sterling.
Yeah, mine don't look good. I don't have too many good people.
I was just looking here. I was literally let me tell y'all something. I was debating between Kyle Larson, Austin Cindric, Chase Briscoe, or Harrison Burton. So
you ain't got a whole lot.
It wasn't a tough choice. And it's so funny because people like that I thought were going to do okay this year, not going to set the world on fire, but be solid, like Eric Jones or but I got Suarez left. And Suarez has been decent, but he's so up and down.
Yeah.
Eric Jones, nothing.
Nope.
Noah Gregson, he just needs a year to get over. And I wonder if that is because of the whole
the kind of a
Toyota deal.
lame duck year.
Yeah.
But they weren't good before they said that.
That's what I was fixing to say. It wasn't good before, but you thought Jimmy Johnson come on and, kind of help some things. But I think Chevrolet has just shut them out. And I think that happened. I got a good feeling that Jimmy Johnson coming to join that team came with Toyota. They knew that was coming before they announced it, I think.
I think that's why they announced it so soon, because that was a stipulation of Toyota's.
Exactly. So I feel like that was so tough season for the GMS Petty whatever legacy now.
Yep.
That's the funny thing is on our sheets it came about so late that it still says GMS Petty Motorsport with a question mark behind it where I printed these off NASCAR.com. That's how it's the same sheets we've had all year, and that's how late that deal came about.
Yeah. Right.
So that's on to Richmond. Sterling, what you think about that race?
Man, I don't know. It's bad when Richmond's a aero race and you got to have track position. You got to get out front first, and so I really don't know, man. I don't know. Richmond hadn't put on two greater races here lately, so.
That's what I was going to say. It has not been a
they were up at the top
barn burner by no means. So
just the short track package isn't
short track package horrible.
Yeah,
right.
Horrible.
I don't know what to do about it either. I mean, they've tried more horsepower.
I think they're going to have to. My biggest thing I think they're going to have to do is basically go back to a different type cars. They're going to have a short track car and then everything else car. Short track's going to have a 4-speed in. Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But or just phase it out with short tracks, unfortunately. I mean, the next gen races.
But they're trying to bring them back. That's the funny part. Well, it's like they're trying to bring them back, but yet you got the worst product at it.
So, the next gen's pretty good everywhere else except, the short tracks. But
I'm hoping something changes on that aspect. But anyway, guys, we want to always thank our friends over at Dixie Made Apparel and all that good stuff over there at Dixie Made. Y'all head over to Dixie Made right here in Florence, South Carolina, right by the flea market. Y'all head over there, get all your back to school wear, get your child looking good to go back to school. Whatever brand you're looking for, they like them Drake waterfowl jackets. Kids, for whatever reason nowadays, don't care if it's 100 degrees. They want to wear a hoodie or a pullover or something like that. And I don't understand them, but whatever. Hey, if that's what you want to do, go get it from Dixie Made. Check them out on Facebook, Instagram, all them good places. They put up all their specials and all their, show all what they got in inventory. Huge store, just keeps growing. So y'all go check out Dixie Made. Also, our good friends over at Rev Max Racing Apparel. Want a good-looking suit? Check out Rev Max Racing Apparel. Check them out on Instagram, Facebook, all that fun things. You might can even see my suit on there. So go check them out. All right. Moving on from that, want to congratulate our good friend Earl Ramey and his son Derek Ramey and Team Longhorn over there. Longhorn House crate late model. Taking on the Mid-East late models, 604 late models at Cherokee this past weekend. Derek's second time in the car racing. Another second place finish. Literally had the fastest car on the track though, all day long. It was just, you had to fire off, get rolling, find where you're going. 2 more laps would have won it, but if wishes and
shoulda, coulda, woulda. But hey, it's not like they have some speed though.
Yeah. So Jeremy Steele, also in a Longhorn, took home the win there. So congratulations to him. But yeah, glad to see our buddy Derek Ramey up there making it happen in the Longhorn.
Oh yeah, he's gonna give him some wins soon.
Oh yes, for sure. They are figuring that car out. Dude, I was sitting there watching on my race pass there, and he was just constantly getting faster and faster, which that was a we'll say a crap show the other night.
Really?
They had a big old wreck. They tried to start the race like twice, 2 or 3 times. nobody could see going into turn one.
Really?
It got so dusty. They wrecked cars. Even Kyle Strickler showed up for this race in a crate.
Sweet.
Yeah. But they wrecked
Track was in
cars.
bad condition.
Oh, it was dusty. It just looked like, it didn't look like dust. It looked like straight up sand just flying in the air. It got bad. So they decided, let's take the cars off track and let's water the track. Let's wet the track. So they did that, and which is just a terrible look to me for a track.
Mid race.
Yeah. Which isn't anything unusual for Cherokee. Typical Cherokee. Everybody talks junk about Cherokee. It makes for some good looking racing sometimes. Watching from stands, we've been there a couple times, and it looks good watching from the stands. If it isn't too dusty, a lot of times it is. Just that orange clay up there they got just gets everywhere, and it's a lot of fun, isn't it, Sterling? When it rains.
Oh yes, yeah. Ain't too easy. You need to bring skis to walk around in the pit. So that's pretty much. It's terrible.
I think Chris Ferguson wanted to jump on the truck the last time we was in there.
Yes,
we come riding by him and like, hey, because it was muddy in there, and it was rough. So anyway, congratulations to our buddy Derek Ramey and Earl Ramey Racing Engines and our friends over at Longhorn for another solid finish. And man, like you said, Sterling, that's going to be a W here for too long.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, it is a Prairie Dirt Classic week out at Furbury. That's going to be that's always a
What kind of car is that?
super late model.
Super late. That's a quarter mile though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's always a fun race to watch. Landon Moody's on here. Landon, you ready for the Prairie Dirt Classic this week, man? He's talking with us on Facebook here. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm glad the dirt guy brings that up. We was getting there, but I'm glad you brought that up. I forgot about that part. Also, throwback Cars Tour week at Hickory Motor Speedway. And they're throwing back to the Hooters Pro Cup era.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen some stuff already that is going to be awesome.
I wonder if that's what everybody was getting the cars ready for. Because there was a lot of cars at the Hampton Heat, but there wasn't everybody that I was expecting.
No,
to be there.
No. Speaking of, our buddy Butterbean Brennan Queen took home the win at Hampton Heat there at Langley. That was a interesting race for sure. He lapped all the way up to sixth place.
Yeah, he was
Sam.
right on Sam's.
Yeah, he was right on Sam's bumper.
But 200 laps with no tires. That was.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, that was.
Wow.
That race goes by. If
Oh,
they
yeah,
don't
they
have any
clicked off
cautions, it
laps,
goes
yeah.
by so fast.
Yeah,
though.
it just it was like.
It's what, like 15-second laps?
Oh yeah,
I think it
they
is,
fly
or
around
less.
there. I bet I just can't imagine those tires after 200 laps around a
Dude.
flat track.
Carson Quapple lost power steering.
Really?
Yeah, I think he ended up finishing like 15th. You pretty much just turn it and lock it, stay there, hold it there. It was a interesting race. I actually might have him on here in a few weeks. I actually text Lee Pulliam today. Told him congratulations and stuff. Told him I want to get him on here. He was busy tonight, but we're going to get him on here next few weeks.
Cool deal.
Sweet.
Cool guy. Man that knows his late models.
Absolutely.
I will say probably better. Somebody knows the car from front to back, top to bottom, just all the inner workings. I don't think you'll find anybody better than Lee Pulliam.
Yeah.
That dude won so many races back in the day.
Yeah, I'd say he could drive too.
I think it was his last year, wasn't it, Sterling? We went down to Myrtle Beach, and he was running the Cars Tour, and they had late model stock and super late models there. That was back when they had supers, and Lee rode around there almost got lapped. And in the first part of the race, they come in, took tires, and he took off from the back.
Just drove through the field.
Drove through the field like it wasn't nothing.
Yeah, they got it figured out.
Oh, that dude, he definitely got it figured out. But he's that is he's the man. Lee Pulliam Performance there with our buddy Brandon Butterbean Queen and also Brandon Pierce. Brandon finished 4th in Hampton Heat. So
there you go.
That's pretty stout. You can get 2 of them in the top 5. Our buddy Sam Yarborough, he was looking pretty good, but man, they ain't had nothing for.
Oh, I mean, it was, yeah, he was on rails there for a while.
Dude, that dude was flying. I mean, which, granted, it's his home track.
Yeah, still though.
I mean, yeah. So, anyway, guys, also like to thank our friends over at MPM. McAllister Precision Marketing. Tanya over there and her team, they are top notch. If you are a young man getting in sport or young driver getting in sport, let's take that back. Let's be politically correct. Speaking of politically correct, I want to ask y'all about something here in a minute. Not pertaining to racing. But if you are getting into racing, you want to if you really want to make it in this world of racing, you got to have a good marketing team behind you, and no better out there than MPM. Go check out Tanya, everything she's got to offer from your social media side, digital marketing there, everything. She's just top notch with it. Great. So go to marketwithmpm.com and get yourself set up today with them. All right, what I want to ask y'all about, y'all probably already know, because we're not that politically correct podcast, typically. My ear itches, sorry. These headphones make your ear itch
I've been letting mine go free.
But we need to get some single ears, but then I can't swap ears. But all right, all in the news this past week. We might get some hate on this. Not that I really care. But Jason Aldean come out with a new song, new video called "Try That in a Small Town."
It's crazy they came out with that in May. I heard it like a month ago.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard. I mean, that was.
Yeah, the song been out for a little while. I think nobody worried about it. Was the video. I think they got everybody. So. It basically, if you haven't heard it somehow, it basically says, you want to go rob somebody, you want to commit crime. We'll just, summarize this.
That's the gist of it.
That's the gist of it. If you want to do that, come try that in a small town. See how it works out for you. Yeah. That's all it says. It's really the gist of the song. It doesn't say anything negative about any certain whatever. It just says try that in a small town. Since I know Sterling's feelings a little bit already, did you get into all that this week?
Well, I did hear about it. I saw about that, and I love it. That's great. I agree completely. Come to this small town. I promise you. See what happens. So, is what it is. I mean, you can't do that no more in this woke world we live in, obviously, but I mean, what's wrong with what he said? I don't have no problem with it. I haven't seen the video now. I don't know about the video.
Go check out the video. Go check it out. It was well made video.
Yeah.
I will give him that. What you think, Connor?
I honestly didn't understand what the problem was.
Oh.
I mean, really, I've heard this song for like a month now, and it's just like all of a sudden I'm hearing is getting CMT pulls the video down and all kinds of junk.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I don't understand. WAP's okay, but that's not okay.
Exactly.
It makes perfect sense, but it makes perfect sense.
Perfect. Now, I'm going to preface this. I think I have probably spoken this many, many times on here through the years. I'm not a Jason Aldean fan at all. I'm not a bro country type music fan. I like old country music. I like Waylon Jennings 2 weeks in a row, 3 weeks in a row, I think. That's just what I like. That's what I like. So the modern country just don't do it for me. In saying that, the song itself, if you go off the music of the song, that's why I go off of a lot of times. I play guitar, play bass, play a little bit of everything. So I'm listening to songs musically a lot of times. If you go off song musically, not one of my favorites by no means. It's not my type. It's not my type. Now, in saying that, the perception of the lyrics or the plot of the song, I guess you'll say, I really appreciate.
Yeah.
I really, really, really appreciate. I like it. I like what he's standing for.
I enjoy it all. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Exactly.
100% like and
Yeah,
appreciate what he is standing for.
It's well worded too.
It is very well worded. Very well worded. I will give him that all day long. I thought it was hilarious. The whole because this has turned around on a lot of people. We're not that woke podcast. I'm gonna tell y'all that now. So if you want woke, you probably don't want to listen to this podcast. We might not we might not always get into it just because that's not what kind of podcast we are. But you know, if it comes up, we liable to speak about it. I thought it was absolutely hilarious, and we have seen this with multiple things over the last year. You know, everybody, this whole cancel culture. Cancel Chicken Bone Alley if you feel like you need to. I don't think you accomplishing much, but if you feel like you need to, go ahead and cancel us. But this whole cancel culture, I love how it has backfired on them, and they realize now just because you want to cancel somebody doesn't mean you can't get canceled too. We look at CMT now. CMT's just falling in it. I don't know if y'all have heard, but because of them pulling that video, Luke Bryan turned around and pulled all of his videos off of CMT himself.
Really?
Yes. And which I heard, I saw this thing that it said it accounted for, I forgot, it was a large percentage of the videos that they play regularly. And they monetized that somehow to, I think it was probably like 3 million or something like that a year that they make off of it. Then on top of that, Blake Shelton pulled everything he had, and he was also supposed to have some project with CMT, is all they said. That was about a $30 million deal with all the advertisements and everything. He canceled the entire project.
Yeah.
With CMT.
Not surprising.
great.
It is wonderful. It is wonderful. We have seen this out of Target this year, which is great.
Yeah.
Seen this out of Bud Light. Not that I cared, but it was great. It was wonderful. Yeah. The whole saying now, I guess, is go woke, go broke.
There you go.
Yep.
I mean,
That's
it's
for
true.
sure.
Truer than ever, too.
So try that in a small town.
Exactly.
Oh, well, I figured that'd be a fun topic.
Yeah.
I figured we were pretty much all in agreement. So I didn't know, but I figured we were.
I should have played devil's advocate.
You should have. You should have, but I don't think you could live with that. I don't think you could live with that.
No,
Connor.
probably not. Probably not. No.
Oh, well. Anyway, what else we got, guys?
Little side note: College game day is going to be in Charlotte for the South Carolina North Carolina game, opening week 1 of college football.
Speaking of,
First time I've done that since like 2014. Just covered a Carolina game.
I'm glad you brought college football up. I need to send you something. I sent. Well, Sterling already got it. Anybody listen? I put it on our Facebook page. We are doing a college fantasy football.
Really? I've never done college before.
We did it a couple years back when Yahoo did it. Me and Sterling did it. A few other guys. And then Yahoo dropped it after 1 year. I liked it personally. And I found it again on Fantrax. So if anybody wants to join our college fantasy football deal, we may do an NFL one also, just because it's fun to do. We've done it for the past I don't know how many years. Look on our Facebook page. There's a link already up there for the college fantasy football.
Yep.
So go join it, Connor.
Will do.
It's fun. We like to week to week. It's free. It's free if anybody wants to know. It's 100% free. We're not doing any craziness on there. We're just having fun with it. Because I ain't gonna lie, I don't watch all the college games by no means. We always at the racetrack on Saturday, so I watch what I can. I find out what Carolina did.
I always go back and watch them.
I always try to find out if Clemson lost.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm pretty excited. College football is probably my number one behind racing.
There you go.
I think.
I'm the same way. I think we're pretty much all in agreement on that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, all hearts and minds clear.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, all right, everybody. Also, if you are in the area, I want to throw this out here for my wife. She has not. I had not mentioned it on the show yet. If you are in the area, and I have to look at it to remember the date, but it's in August. She has also messaged me about it. If you were interested and in the area, my wife is kind of hosting this thing at our church. That is a let me pull it up. Let me pull it up so I don't. As everybody knows, our youngest son, Jackson, is autistic, diagnosed autism, and special needs is kind of a thing for us, and so Kayla is kind of she's kind of a big advocate for special needs, and people with special needs, and trying to get inclusion and different workshop, things going, get conversation around it, because it's kind of a tough conversation to have sometimes with some people. They don't know how to bring it up, don't know how to bring special needs up, and we were very fortunate the other day. This woman stopped us in Walmart. She was like, and stopped Kayla. She said, "Can I ask you a question?" And she was very nice about it, and she just noticed Jackson has many mannerisms that point to he is autistic. I mean, so it's not something that we hide behind. It's fine with us. For us, it's not a disability. It is a special ability, and he does. That dude is insane with music.
Really?
Which is something I love. So,
Cool.
he can get on a piano and figure a song out. Sterling's heard it. He all of a sudden just gets on there and he sits there and hits round notes till he figures out, and he has perfect pitch and can hear notes perfectly. So anyway, if anybody is interested in it's an all-inclusion workshop for those with diagnosis and special needs. It's not just autism. It is any type special needs. They just want to have a big conversation about it, especially with churches having programs. We're fortunate at Lebanon to our church has what they call Through the Roof, and it is a special needs ministry. So, but they're with that, my wife's kind of heading it up. She's doing a little bit of everything with it, but she's trying to get as many people with different, or families with different special needs in there to come and, basically what they're doing is telling how to provide care, I guess, for that child or person with special needs. That way the church can be prepared for it. Yeah. So anyway, it's Saturday, August 5th, from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. So 2.5 hour workshop, I guess we'll call it. And like I said, if anybody is interested in going to it, feel free to message me, and we'll get you all the info on it if you're in the area, or if your church might want to, start something, because I know a lot of churches don't have that. We're very fortunate. So if a church is interested in starting it, then our team would be glad to help any other church kind of start that. So
We'll do.
So I want to make sure I put that out there for Kayla.
There you go.
Alrighty. Well, I think this is it this time. So want to once again say we appreciate all our good friends over at Earl Ramey Racing Engines, Profab Headers and Exhaust, SRI Performance, and Stock Car Steel and Aluminum. Also MPM, Dixie made Rev Max apparel, racing apparel. I think that's going to do it today, guys. I think that's it. All right, everybody. Well, appreciate y'all hanging out with us again this week. As far as I know, we'll all be back next week. That's the plan. So, anyway, I guess we'll talk to y'all next time.
See you.
Later.
And we're clear.
Info.
Well, we're still on Facebook, but we're clear. You getting under from under the lightning rod over there?
I'm walking around with my hotspot in my hand.
Speaking of that, did you just go through that monsoon last night?
It wasn't that bad over here.
Really? We were driving home from church, and you couldn't see 5 feet from your hood.
Really?
I mean, it was just like...
See, and that's what Sterling said. They basically had a little nader come through almost over there.
Yeah, all down Fire Tower was like flooded. We had yards flooded over across the road.
It rained a little bit because we brought Landon over here because my mom took him to the youth pastor's house to leave on trips. It rained for, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, but it was hard, but it wasn't, absolutely ridiculous.
About 30 minutes of just...
Now,
probably 45.
It looked like right there at that tree line, it looked black.
Oh, it was like just a downpour. I mean, I couldn't see from here to that wall. It was sketchy.
Did y'all get a ton of rain, Sterling?
Oh yes, yeah, ton.
Guy I work with, Jeff, he sent me a video. His car is parked probably 10, 15 feet from his front door, and he opened the door, and could see like through he's got like a glass door there. You couldn't see the car.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It was raining so hard. He lives in Chesterfield.
Yeah, I was driving home from church, and you just couldn't see. I mean, I was rolling like 30 miles an hour. It was just that. It was bad.
Wow. It's crazy.
Yeah, so from right down the road, such a big difference.
I know.
Anyway.
Oh, well. All right, fellers.
10 photos, fellas. Well, I'm glad to be back.
Glad you're back.
I'll be back. I'll be back next week. I ain't sure about the rest of the week. Coming up, I'll be back next week.
Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, and they fixed the cell phone tower.
Exactly. I'm gonna have to live off my hotspots. I have to go everywhere with me now.
Just ride it around. Time to go get another battery for that thing.
I just put one in it like last week. So I'm
did you?
Yeah, the other one swole up. The whole back come popping off.
Again?
Yeah.
Well, at least you know what they're gonna do every time.
Exactly.
Oh, well.
It works out good.
All right, everybody. Well, I reckon we'll see y'all later.